Merry Christmas, everybody. I'm very excited to be with you here today in the Zoom meeting during this very unusual Christmas season, during which I know we're all missing so many of our friends, and at least being able to see each other's beautiful faces, even if it's in a Zoom meeting. It's hopefully helping everybody to feel a little bit more Christmas-like and more joyful. So when Kim asked me to do a cooking segment, I was very excited about it, and I thought, what should I make? I wanted to make something very easy, but that has high impact. And those two things can go together when you're cooking. I entertain a lot, and I find that everything can't be a big, huge, arduous task. So I saw these cinnamon rolls at Sam's. It's a 4-pack of cinnamon rolls, and on the back is a recipe for cinnamon French toast bake. Now I've tried this out on some friends, and they all love it, and they keep coming back for more. So I thought that's what I wanted to make for you guys today. So we're going to start off with, now I've already cut up, I'm going to put on my gloves for safety purposes and to keep less messy. But I love to use these gloves because they keep your hands nice and they keep everything very sanitary. And they feel better to me. I don't like the feel necessarily of all the ooky food in my fingers. So I've already cut up one batch of rolls, one can of rolls. So I'm going to do a second can. You take it out, you put the little icing packet aside. We will use that for later, so don't get rid of it. And then you're going to take your rolls and you're going to cut there are 8 rolls in a pack. You're going to cut each of those into, each roll is going to end up in 8 pieces. So you're going to get nice little small pieces, which is a good thing. So I'm quick cutting them up. You don't have to do this real exact. Just have fun and enjoy the process. And know that with very little effort, you're going to end up with something very delicious at the end. Okay, so there you can see how precise I am with all that. That's the way I like to cook. So I have melted butter here. So we're going to take our pan and we're just going to spray this all out on our pan to keep it from sticking, and plus it adds a yummy butter flavor. So we got all that going. It's got a little bit hard, that's okay. It'll remelt when it's in the oven. So then we're going to take our rolls and we're just going to place them, not so carefully, you can see. We're just going to spread out the pieces in our pan. La-di-di. So here we go. And then, all right. So that's the base of our French toast. You can see how hard that was. It took days and days and days. So I broke 6 eggs into this container. I'm going to take these eggs. I'm going to give these a good whip. You want to get them nice and fluffy. You can use an electric mixer if you want to, but I find it's really not necessary. It's not that picky, this recipe. So I got to go get my cream. Pardon me, sorry. So, yummy, yummy, smells good. So we're going to add about 1/2 cup of cream to this. All right, it's the holidays, right? And Sherry will be sharing with us how to work off some of these calories so it won't be so bad. Okay, so I add the cream. I had the 6 eggs in here. I have 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. And I'm going to measure out 2 teaspoons of vanilla. And you know you could just use the lid for your vanilla. All right. And then you're going to whip this up nice. Just whip it up till it gets a little bit fluffy. All right. Okay. And then we're just going to pour this right over the cinnamon rolls. Get all that good stuff in there. See some cinnamon left over. All right. Okay, now that that's in there, I want to just fix this up a little bit. All right, I have to get the syrup. Sorry. So then I'm going to drizzle on top about 1 cup of pure maple syrup. Now I suggest getting real maple syrup. if you buy the Aunt Jemima or the inexpensive kinds that you get in the grocery store, you're really only adding maple flavored corn syrup to your food. And there's something about that that I just don't like. So I highly recommend just getting the real thing. It is more expensive, but I think it's well worth it. So you're just gonna pour, and you can see things don't have to be exact when you're, and then a lot of times when you're cooking like this is not an exact kind of recipe. So I'm pouring about a cup of the syrup over there, and then I am going to sprinkle it with my pecans. I have a cup of pecans already chopped up. Now you don't roast these ahead of time. I'm a big proponent typically of roasting nuts ahead of time when you're using them in a recipe, but in this particular case they're going to be cooking more on top of the dish. So if you were to toast them ahead of time, they would probably burn in the oven. So I'm just going to sprinkle that on there. Isn't that looking delicious? All right, so I think we're just about ready, and we're going to put this in a 375-degree oven for 20 to 25 minutes, and then you watch to see it get golden brown, and it'll be delicious and bubbly, and then so we'll be back in about 25 minutes. Well, and we're back. It's 25 minutes have passed, and let's see what we've got. Oh, it's beautiful. All right. So it's nice and golden brown on the top. The pecans are toasted beautifully and perfectly. So we just have a couple more things to do. This is where we're going to go back to our little frosting packets that we put on the side. And all we're going to do, and you want to do this while it's still nice and hot out of the oven, so that you kind of drizzle them over a little bit. And if you have an offset spatula, I find that is the easiest tool to do this with. I love an offset spatula for many purposes. Frosting a cake is the best purpose for it. So I'm gonna do both of the packets. Doesn't that look yummy? So this recipe is so simple that a teenager could make it, somebody who's just learning to cook, somebody who's an accomplished cook and just wants to fill in something with something very easy and delicious for a little holiday treat. It works for just about any occasion, really. And it could be a dessert or it could be a brunch item. I usually serve it for brunch, but it could go either. And then I also wanted to mention that when you see recipes on the manufacturer, like this is Pillsbury. Pillsbury has very good recipes. And I actually put a recipe for pin twirls in the December newsletter. That's also a Pillsbury recipe because they want you to buy the product. So they really only put good recipes on their packaging, and that's true really of all manufacturers. So when you're looking for recipes, and they typically make them easy too. So that's just a little tip as far as how you can find new delicious recipes if you're looking for some things that are easy. Now, just to make this just a little bit more even prettier, I'm gonna just sprinkle this with some 10x sugar, make it look like it got snowed upon. And then you wanna serve this warm, and you can serve it with additional syrup on the side if you like. You could decorate it with some berries or some cranberries maybe, make it look extra Christmassy. I thought maybe I had powdered myself, but I didn't. All right, so there you go. Cinnamon roll French toast. I hope you decide to make this over the holidays, and I hope you and your family enjoy it very much. All right, so it's after the show. It's time
behind the previews. Yes.
Our favorite time to sample the dish.
Yes, we've worked hard.
So now it is the moment of truth.
Yes, and I will be the truth tester. All right.
There you go, Tim.
Oh, this is
Let
mine.
me just reach in here and get you a fork.
Okay.
See what you think.
Okay, are we ready?
What do you think? Let me see what I think.
Yes, I'm still your friend. And yes, I'll be back for more. Isn't it great?
If I do say so myself.
The walnuts or the nuts and the is it pecans? What kind of pecans?
Pecans.
The pecans, and you can definitely tell the difference in that syrup.
Definitely. It's worth it.
So
Definitely
good.
worth it.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us.
Hope you can enjoy it too.
Let's
Have
do
a
it.
Merry Christmas.
Let's do it again.
Okay.
All right. We'll be back.
Sounds good to me.